Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. This is Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today we're talking Love Island UK, and we've got to react, you guys, to the latest episode. We finally got our Indami slash Damia date, you guys, but we will get to that a little bit later. Let's get to it. So we pick off, you guys, with the aftermath of, Tornado Tasha, making an appearance, checking in finally into Love Island, you guys, 3 weeks in. And, she still wants no parts of anybody. She's like sitting on the daybed alone. She doesn't want to talk to anybody. She doesn't want to deal with anybody, this and that. And then even Andrew comes over to try to talk to her, and it's like so then the guys and the gals were curious to find out about what was the tea on Indiyah and Dami spending the night together for the first time, being coupled up, and how did it go in the bed. And so Indiyah said, obviously, that the beauty salon's closed for now, but there was like a lot of kissing, and they both admitted that they both got carried away a little bit. But for now, the beauty salon is still closed, you guys, and they're trying to keep things a little bit private and under wraps, and having the covers over each other so we cannot see what is really happening, you guys. But I love the chemistry. I love what Indiyah and Dami is giving, and they just need to give us more screen time, production. Also, really quick, can we get into the covers of some of these songs, you guys? I am very offended that you guys do not have the money to pay for the licensing for Neo song So Sick, seriously? And you do not have the money to pay for the licensing for Tamia song I'm So Into You? Are you serious? Seriously? Like what is going on? And I believe the same was like for an Ariana Grande song as well. And I was like, no. Who is butchering these karaoke songs? I could have done a better version of all of these songs, you guys. And I'm not even a singer. I am not even a singer, and I could have produced a better cover than the nonsense that was played tonight. I was very offended. The songs were watered down and offensive, you guys. So moving along. So let's get into, so ever since Charlie has been in the villa, you guys, there seems to be a separation amongst the guys, and it seems as though Jay and Charlie, since they're the elder statesmen of the villa, they're kind of in their own little clique. And even to an extent, they've kind of pulled in Davide a little bit here and there. And it's kind of funny because they all obviously have been coupled up with Ekin-Su. So it's like her little harem, having their little gathering, you guys. But I think one thing I respect about Charlie is that he is not giving into the drama or the gossip, right? And the one thing about the men to this point is that they basically overshare everything, right? Which is kind of what led to the blow up of what took place between Andrew and Tasha, was that, the girls and the gals were, or not the girls and the gals, the same people. The girls and the guys, they were both, of course, comparing notes on what Tasha was telling Andrew versus what Andrew was telling Tasha. And then they were going back to each other to compare notes in their couples, and everything kind of broke loose from there. So I appreciate and respect. It sounds like Charlie's not really feeling Ekin-Su and chose her as the safe, sure bet, because obviously she's kind of on the outs with most of the house and this and that. But I feel as though he still wants to get to know Tasha, because they had a talk on the low later on in the episode, basically indicating, hey, if the door's still open for us to get to know each other, then it can still happen. But he basically kept it a buck with her and was like, hey, we need to keep whatever we discuss between ourselves, because when it gets back to the other people, that's when all this drama and all of this foolishness gets started. And then that's when people start looking at you weird and trying to isolate you and distance themselves from you. And that was very mature of Charlie, because at the end of the day, you're still in a reality show. We still want to see drama. We still want to see romance and all the good stuff. But I respect him for, really clocking immediately how the people in the island are moving, and wanting to always try to get in your business to then gossip about it, and it escalates to other things. So respect on him for that, for keeping it a buck there. As for Tasha, she's moving mad, you guys, and she is going to be on the chopping block, even though, unfortunately, I think Danica's going to go before her, but Tasha's days are numbered if she does not get it together, you guys. And shout out to Andrew, because even though he obviously does not deserve this, I do also think he is also playing up the sympathy for the cameras. He sees how that benefited Davide when him and Ekin-Su had their issue, right? Even though he wasn't like, sad or anything about that. I mean, he got pissed off too or whatever because of the lying, but he is playing up the sympathy, you guys, so that you can keep him in the villa. Tasha, not so much for you. If they do a compatibility vote for the couples coming up here, you guys are going to be in the bottom. You guys are going to be in the bottom. And Tasha keeps reiterating that, she's not herself since she's been with Andrew. And it's like, well, yeah, we know you're not being yourself. You're messy. And you can't be messy without it being exposed. So now you're kind of in a conundrum. And so I thought it was so rude that she wanted to ignore Andrew, but then walks over to the guys to talk to Luca and Dami. And I'm like, oh, here we go, you guys. Here we go. And so she is trying to, be the bad bee and, let have and say all of these things. And honestly, like I told you guys, she is upset that she got exposed. That's really all this is about. She is upset that she got exposed because every time a new guy comes in, she is trying to graft. She is trying to get out of the couple with Andrew. Even before Bombshells got there, she was really head set on Luca, you guys. She wanted to holler at Luca. And now we find out, courtesy of Ekin tonight on After Sun, that the villa found out about Gemma's dad on day 3, which was the same day that Luca completely switched up off of Paige, switched up off of Tasha, and was all in on Gemma ever since, you guys. So I already see the Jake 2.0 competition that is brewing between him and Jax, you guys. Luca and Jax are fighting hard, tooth and nail, to be the next Jake, you guys, this season. And it's neck and neck. It is neck and neck. But, it was just funny because Luca's, facial descriptions and his reactions and everything else to these conversations are hilarious. So then, once Tasha put on the tears, because at that point, I didn't even know what she was talking about anymore. Dami did the hug into the boobs. Like, Dami's a menace, you guys. Dami is a menace. And I know some of you are upset with him constantly getting into the fold and getting into the drama, and that he needs to be off in the sunset with Indiyah. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, he's a black contestant. And at the end of the day, he knows that if he's not being shown, if the cameras are not following him around, he's not on the episode, you guys. So that is why he is in the mix of all of these situations. But I think also production also make sure to make it a point to include Dami as well, you guys, whether it's his business or not, because they like the content that comes from Dami, you guys. Even though it's messy, even though he likes to gossip and everything else, he brings entertainment, you guys, and he's going to say something funny. Luca was not falling for the BS and didn't really want to apologize, didn't really want to give a hug. And Dami still is, he really was right in his point. Him and Luca are right? They are right that Tasha seems to be looking for something else. She keeps trying to seek something else outside of Andrew, which indicates she is not as all in with Andrew as compared to Andrew being all in with her, which is why the guys have doubts. And so now she cares about more so about who has her back and who doesn't, because she doesn't want to be Ekin-Su'd in the villa. But it's like, you can't be moving mad like this. Several people who've been on multiple dates with other people of other bombshells that have come in the villa, they're not coming back to their couples and saying, hey, every time a new person comes in, we need to take a step back. We need to be friends. And you've done this multiple times. This is like the 4th guy you've done this with, and they see through your game. They see through your pattern. So really at this point, Tasha needs to make the decision if she's just going to calm it down until Casa Amor, or if she's just going to be all in with Andrew at this point, even though it's clear she doesn't really like him like that and she wants to move on. She definitely wants to move on. So I'm going to be paying attention to that because I expect her head to turn at Casa Amor, and it sounds like the guys are definitely encouraging Andrew to explore his options as well, even if it's before Casa Amor, because they feel he does not deserve the treatment that he is getting from Tasha. And then we had a conversation, you guys, with Davide and Ekin-Su, and I know some of you guys are shipping for them to get back together. I personally am not seeing it, you guys. I think Davide was serious when he said, once you cross him, once you lie to him, once you betray him, it is over with. It is over and done, you guys. I do think, though, they still have lots of sexual tension. And I think that is what you were seeing. You were seeing the tension and the chemistry that prior to their coupling ending, they never had the opportunity to go there. And so there's still that energy, there's still that tension, there's still that chemistry every time they interact, even if they're squabbling, because it is out of frustration, you guys. It is out of sexual frustration. That is why that is happening. Even though Davide may claim that he is over Ekin-Su, he definitely still wants to hook up with her, you guys. He definitely still likes the fact that Ekin-Su is going to give it to him straight. He is not going to back down against him, and he likes the banter with her in regards to doing that. And I love the fact that where they sat at was where they had their kiss together. And Davide was, gassing it up. He's like, oh, you like it here because you kissed me. And I'm like, this guy is insane, you guys. Davide is insane. But again, I think Davide is just there for the holiday as well and is not looking for anything serious. And I think he is just trying to ride things out until Casa Amor to see if somebody more of his type that he is physically attracted to walks in. Because it's funny how so many people came for Danica and her approach as a bombshell. And you have the opposite approach of the way Antigone came in, but even still, she's being ignored. She's been friend zoned by everybody, you guys. So it's not an Danica issue or an Antigone issue. These guys know what they're doing. Some of them are dead set on their couples, you guys. And then others, they are looking for something elsewhere. However, they don't want to look like a jerk or what have you, even though they end up looking like one anyways. But basically, Davide is just trying to keep it low. I mean, he's keeping it honest. I'm a little mad at production because they hit a conversation today between him and Danica, so maybe there wasn't as much of a reaction to him choosing Antigone in regards to Danica as we thought. Maybe it was editing and maybe her reaction was different to something else, but it's clear that they still are getting along and they're still talking and having conversations or what have you, and it's clear that him and Antigone are basically a friendship couple, which is what Laura Whitmore said tonight on Aftersun. Next, we get into this Paige, Jay, and Jack's triangle that they're trying to make happen. And you can't make a triangle happen if not all parties are invested in playing their role in the triangle, you guys. Then it's no longer a triangle. Then it's just a couple that is basically, completely closing the door to somebody else that is interested. I think Paige likes the fact that there are multiple men interested in her. I am not buying Jax's foolishness of him now all of a sudden being all about Paige and, oh, she's my best friend and, oh, I didn't realize what I had and blah, 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 blah. When you were the main one that pawned her off to Jay. You were the main one that told Jay to graft her. And now all of a sudden, because you weren't expecting him to pick her at the recoupling, now you have all of these things to say. And it was very telling when the first time, Paige asked him, the night after they were no longer in a couple and they're sleeping in different beds, did he miss her? And he said no. And I was like, see, this is that F-boy behavior that I'm talking about. And Paige knows exactly who she is dealing with, right? Because she even said, she described the fact that Jacquees is more fun, not Jacquees, that Jax is more fun, and that he's a party guy and this and that, and into his clothes, into his looks and everything else. Whereas Jay, he is going to be more on paper of what she looks for in a committed relationship and what she would want in a boyfriend, you guys. However, people keep pointing out the mysterious cold sore that is on Jay's lips, that people are hoping gets rectified before any type of future kissing scenes happen, and this and that. And so maybe that could be what's taking place. They're waiting for that to clear up, because I did notice there was some, ointment or medication or cream that was on his lip in the bed. So definitely somebody is on to that. But again, I just think it was a miscue. And I know what Jay's doing. Jay's being a little bit too obvious of what he's doing, but basically he is trying to stay in the villa, and he feels by coupling up with somebody who was popular, since basically Gemma for now is wifed off with Luca and Indiyah is basically wifed off now with Dami. Basically Paige was really Jay's only option, right? In terms of who was liked, even though he should have went with Antigone or Danica, because he shouldn't have just gone off of what is the unknown and should have just went with the fact that he had the chemistry there with Antigone. And so, with that being said, I think his days are numbered as well, you guys. I really do. Because it seems as though they're really trying to push Jax and Paige, and I just don't like it. I don't see it for them. And I think he's going to break Paige's heart, and he technically already has. It's just that Paige is already all in because they slept together and everything else. So she is going to ride this until he basically dumps her, you guys. So there is that. And so Paige basically told Jay that, and here's where the gamer Gemma comes in, you guys, because Gemma is peeping game and she's like, hey, you need to stop hiding from Jay and you need an opportunity to talk to him. But I think it's strategic on Gemma's part because she also wants to still have the door open in case there is an opportunity for her and Jax to get back together if things do not pan out well for Luca. So I already see what Gemma is setting up, you guys. And I told you guys, watch what happens during and after Casa Amor involving Jax, Luca, and Gemma. Watch and pay attention, you guys, because I think some of you guys are going to be in for a rude awakening of what is really about to go down. So there is that. And then I'm trying to think, was there really anything else that took place this episode? Am I missing anything? Ekin-Su claims that she's still going to try to get to know Charlie, even though there's not really an attraction there. The ladies are all saying their beauty salons are closed, but Indiyah's telling Tasha she understands why her is open now that she is coupled up with Dami, because you start to feel things and you start to touch things and things start to escalate and things of that nature, and it can get carried away very quickly and this is what happens when two people are attracted to each other, when two people are sexually attracted to each other. These are the things that take place, you guys. So there is that. So those are my thoughts. I am going to do a separate video discussing the Dami date, the Dami date, because it's just all the feels, you guys. It gives me all of the feels, and I just want to do a separate video of positivity about them, you guys. So there is that. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notifications bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.